We have the Baylor Bears
Yep.
against number 16 Hartford Hawks. John Gallagher, Coach Gal. They're laying 26 points. Total's 141. What do you think of here?
Well, I think that Tracy Carter, Hartford's best player, is older than you. Honestly.
I
right?
vividly remember going to an event in Philadelphia in 2013 and watching Tracy Carter play.
Right. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, he's a great defender. He is. He's a hell of – like, you're going to have perimeter defending players. I mean, 3 or 4 of the best defenders, individual defenders in the country. I talked to Scott Drew yesterday about his defense, and he said we've had 3 really good days of practice. I think our defense will be much better than it's been over the last couple of weeks. Will it be what it was early in the season? I don't know. But, Hartford's got good guard play, but with Tracy Carter and other dudes, they aren't Davian Mitchell and Jared Butler. So, obviously, I'm taking Baylor.
Yeah, I would tend to lean. Yeah, I would tend to lean towards taking the first half line. Boom, just because I'm wary of that line getting to 26 and Scott pulling his guys maybe a little bit earlier just to get him out. But I mean, look, you can't be on Hartford in this spot. That's kind of the bottom line. All right, next up.
Come on, don't you watch? Go. This you watch. Yeah, give me your pick of the day. Pick of the day from a special.
Who are you talking to?
Day. Guest picker.
I'm muting Jeffrey because I'm tired of this. All right, next up we have North Carolina taking on number 9 seed Wisconsin, laying 1.5. Jeffrey, what was that? Who you got? What are we doing here?
Somebody calling. I thought it might be real news. It wasn't. They were just bothering me in the middle of the show. I'm going Carolina. I saw Wisconsin. Like, I think they beat Carolina in football. Like, I think if those two teams played in football, I think Wisconsin would kick their ass. Like, Micah Potter was throwing bombs. I like Carolina. Man, they're bigs. Like, Wisconsin's bigs have been underwhelming all year, right? Nate Reavers, Micah Potter, you don't know what you're going to get. Carolina just rotates those. And again, Walker Kessler's come on. Ron Sharp's been awesome. Even like Garrison Brooks, he hasn't had a great year, but, like, you could trust Garrison Brooks. As long as Demetric Trice doesn't tear up Carolina's guards, which he could do. You cannot let Demetric Trice go for 30, and he's fully capable. That's my only concern, but I'm going Carolina here.
Yeah, you got to go Carolina here. The big concern when you win with Carolina is like what happens with teams can space them out, and right. Wisconsin's not spacing anybody out. So I'm with you. I know that we just said, and here it is.
Here what is?
The buzzer. I know that we just said you should fade ACC teams against Big Ten teams, but like Wisconsin, they stink.
Yes.
All right, next up, this is the one that I know we're gonna kind of go back and forth on, and I already know we're gonna disagree on. Villanova, I believe. Let me just check to make sure that line is still 6.5. It had come up a little bit. It's now 6.5. The total is 143.5. And it's Villanova against Winthrop. Jeff, I know you love Winthrop here.
I love the points in Winthrop. I probably like the money line, to be honest. I just think, again, when you're taking out your point guard who's played all year and you're putting in a point guard who played 30 minutes all season and Diacono, I think you're in trouble. And again, Winthrop's strength is what? Point guard play. Chandler Rodden, he's been awesome. They have a big to match up against Jeremiah Robinson-Earl and DJ Burns. They're deep, which Villanova is fairly deep other than point guard position, obviously. They play fast. They're well coached. I'm taking Winthrop in the points.
Yeah, there's just too much talent on Villanova here. There's too much talent, and you're giving Jay Wright 9 days to figure out what he wants to do.
You are.
The other thing that people forget is that
you can give him 100 days. If you don't have a point guard, you don't have a freaking point guard.
We'll see. Well, okay. Winthrop is also one of these teams like Colgate, like some of these smaller leagues where they and we're about to go off. There's a buzzer right there. I'm going to finish my point though and take that liberty since I'm controlling the show. Winthrop is another one of these teams that played a whole bunch of mid-major teams where their data is a little bit skewed. Like stats on KenPom are a little bit skewed because they haven't played anybody.
Right.
And going up again, like it's one thing to go and beat up on like Big South opponents. Are they the Big South? Yeah, they're the Big South, right? It's one thing to go up and beat up on those teams. It's a totally different thing to go up against a team that's got like 2 or 3 pros. Where Chandler Valdron is going to be going up against Jermaine Samuels and Brandon Slater, 2 guys that are built for guarding them and stopping them. So there's way too much talent on Villanova. I think they win this game by 15, and I'm fine being on an island there. Next up, we have Purdue as a 4 seed against number 13 seed North Texas. That line is 8. That totals 126.5. I flip-flopped on this one. I thought I was going to like Purdue. I think I actually like North Texas in this spot. Where are you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, North Texas is guard. Javion Hamlet's awesome. He didn't have as good a year this year as he had last year when he was Conference USA Player of the Year. But he's good. He can get a shot off. He can score. I just don't know if they have enough around him. That's my big take is a Simmons kid. Can he stand up to Trevion Williams and Zach Edey? I don't know how many.
I don't know if he can. I'm not necessarily that worried about it though, because that's going to be 2 points on every possession. Here's my take on it. It's going to be a low scoring game. There's going to be few possessions. That's going to increase the variance. The way that Purdue plays defense is they force you to shoot threes. North Texas is a team that shoots very, very well from the 3-point line. North Texas is well coached. They're going to defend. I could very much see this game ending like 57-50, and you can get the cover. I just don't think there's a lot of points going to be scored. So getting 8 in a matchup like that is something that is appealing to me. So I like North Texas there. Okay. Honestly, I think it's a little bit more interesting to take them to win than it is to just take them to cover. Especially like putting them in your bracket to win than just betting them to cover. But I don't know. That's game theory for a different day. All right. Texas Tech laying 4 against number 11 Utah State. I don't even need to ask you what you're going to take here. I know you're going to say Chris Beard. You take Chris Beard. Take Chris Beard in March. He made the national title game when he had 3 pros on his roster. He's the greatest coach in the history of coaches. Did I get it right? Anything else?
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, you're good.
So I think I actually agree with you after talking all that shit. I think I do agree with you here. I just Nami Ishiketa is a complete difference maker, but the problem is that Texas Tech's perimeter defense can just take away everything that Utah State wants to do. They just don't have the guards. Texas Tech is top 10 in the country at forcing turnovers, and Utah State has turned the ball over on more than 20% of their offensive possessions. So I love Craig Smith. I think he is a guy that's a very, very good coach, and I would not be surprised if his name popped up at one of these high major openings coming up here pretty soon. But I don't know. Which, by the way, is something that we probably should have talked about. But let's keep it moving. We got Arkansas, number 3 seed Arkansas against number 14 seed Colgate. This is probably Villanova's my favorite bet of the first round. Outside of the obvious ones that are COVID related, Arkansas is my second favorite bet of the first round.
Well, again, the problem is, as we've noted, like Colgate likes to play fast. They've got a bunch of guys, so that's kind of playing into the hands of Arkansas. That's got guys who can shoot it. They're long, they're athletic. Colgate hasn't played any games outside of the Patriot League this year. That's my bigger problem is like you're going from only playing Patriot League games to now seeing an SEC team, athleticism wise. So yeah, I'm with you. I think they blow them out, and I'm going to be at this game. But so I hope Jordan Burns goes for 40 and makes it interesting.
Yeah, ding. There you go. I just don't see how Colgate can hang with them. And the biggest thing is, I'm always worried about small conference teams that are trying to pull the upset while playing 100 possessions. It decreases the variance with the advantage that teams have per possession. If that makes sense. So I love Arkansas there. I think that they win in a rout. Next up, we have Florida laying a point against number 10 seed Virginia Tech. Like the 7-10 game in the other region, I have very little interest in watching this.
I mean, too good. Like Mike Young, I'm going to go Mike Young here. I just think Florida's been through so much. They're not the team that we thought they'd be, obviously, without Keontae Johnson. And Scotty Lewis has had a very underwhelming year. He has. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I thought he would take a step, and instead, I almost feel like he's taking a step back in a way. Virginia Tech, Mike Young just maximizes his talent. There's no other way of saying it. And Keve Aluma is going to, like, I honestly think he can play in the league. I think he's that good. So I'm going Virginia Tech here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't – Trey Mann's the kind of guy that can win a game all by himself, but I don't think I want to be on Florida in this spot. I don't know. That's just me. All right, last game. Which should be one of the most entertaining games of the first round, to be honest, is going to be Ohio State against Oral Roberts. That total is 15.5, or I'm sorry, that line is 15.5. That total is 157. Jeff, you got any strong takes here? I got a pretty strong take.
Well, I want to hear you pronounce Oral Roberts' best player's last name, because it is spelled.
Asmus.
What is it?
Asmus.
Good job. Yeah, you got it.
So here's the thing. You got to bet the over in this game. You have to bet the over. Oral Roberts is the worst defense in the NCAA tournament field.
Yeah.
Ohio State is a top 4 offense in the NCAA, or in America.
Yeah.
Oral Roberts runs a ball screen heavy offense with 2 guys that are legit high major players in Max Asmus and Kevin O'Banner. They both can go for 40 on any given night. And Ohio State has proven over and over again they really struggle at defending ball screens. Both of these teams shoot a ton of threes. Oral Roberts wants to play fast. Ohio State will run with them. I think this is going to be a shootout. So I'm going to be all over the over. Life is too short to bet the over.
I like that too. I'm going to go the over on this one. I don't have a great feel for whether Ohio State's going to cover, because I don't know yet on Kyle Young. So that's what scares me on that.
Boom. All right, we did it. Every game.